comes up here.
Clark Kent and his family have continued to deal with strange new villains after the resumption of Superman and Lois. Chief among them is Ally Alston, the leader of the Inverse Society, who aims to get people to merge with their shadow versions from the Inverse world. But how highly do fans regard Ally? In the comics, Ally also causes havoc as a member of the secret society of supervillains, but according to Ranker, she still hasn't managed to leave a lasting legacy. Instead, the more traditional villains take up slots on the fan-voted top 10 list. Number 10, Mr. Mxyzpt LK.
Watch me.
Oh yeah!
He made his debut in Superman number 30, in which he conducts dangerous pranks across Metropolis. Despite being goofy in comparison to other villains, he has become regular in both the comics and animated projects. Mxyzpt LK distinguishes himself from other Superman foes by not being malevolent. Since his only aim is to annoy rather than hurt, he tends to be more likable. Some of his mannerisms mirror those of the Joker and the Riddler, since he enjoys laughing and compels people to solve puzzles. A major reason he ranks lower on the list is that he is easy to defeat. By spelling his name backward, he gets trapped in the fifth dimension. Number 9. Mongol.
Do you have any idea what you did to me?
Mongol kicks off his adventures with a bang when he kidnaps Superman's allies Jimmy Olsen and Steve Lombard in DC Comics Presents number 27. He then goes on to become the Lord of the Warworld. Mongol is no schemer, but his inclusion among the best adversaries is well-deserved since he is always shown to be much stronger than Superman. For example, the Man of Steel only defeats him once in their numerous hand-to-hand duels during the Bronze Age. Having a body that is resistant to lasers is beneficial too. And like many other great foes, he has great ambition, once conquering over a dozen planets in a row. Number 8. Metallo. In World's Finest Comics number 6, scientist George Grant builds himself a powerful robotic suit and also ingests a serum in order to be powerful. He becomes one of the first 10 villain Superman faces before taking a hiatus and showing up 40 years later. Metallo is more of an evil Tony Stark since his metallic body has all the technology needed to perform as well as the most gifted superheroes. New upgrades tend to be incorporated after every few months too, making him even stronger than before. But where Metallo shines the most is that he doesn't have to be a risk-taker. Since his cybermind enables him to calculate success ratios and figure out all outcomes, he can avoid putting himself in fighters where he'll lose. Number 7. Parasite.
Good evening, dinner.
Different versions of Parasite have appeared over the eyes, but the first one, the Raymond Maxwell Jensen version, was introduced in Action Comics number 340. However, the current and most popular Parasite is Rudolph Rudy Jones. Among the things that make Parasite cool is that he never has to worry about establishing his own identity or using his own powers. Since he absorbs the strengths and weaknesses of others, he can use the abilities of the heroes against them. Consequently, it always takes a lot of effort for Superman to figure out how to stop him. Number 6. Bizarro. There are multiple things only comic fans know about Bizarro, but one thing all DC fans are aware of is that he is an erratic and flawed version of Superman. Since his debut in Superboy number 68, Bizarro has tried to sabotage Superman many times. Bizarro's lack of reason ought to be a disadvantage in the fictional DC universes, but it tends to earn him sympathy among fans. Despite being a mere brute, but he always intrigues by being a reverse Superman. His negative powers tend to lead to many comical moments too, such as him only seeing through lead and his vacuum breath absorbing things instead of blowing them away. Number 5. General Zod. The Kryptonian is introduced in the DC pages in Adventure Comics number 283 and is shown to have the same powers as Kal-El. His appearance has changed over the years. He was first depicted as bald, but is shown to have hair nowadays. In fiction, the most formidable villains are often those that are very similar to the hero, and Zod can be inserted into this category. And he isn't just a punch-and-go type of villain either, as he was trained in combat skills before being granted his powers. As such, he and Superman have blessed fans with some of the best fight scenes in DC media. Number 4. Darkseid.
Steppenwolf.
The fascist ruler of Apocalypse has always been a reason for Superman to look over his shoulder. He makes a cameo in Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 134 before being granted immense character development and becoming a main four of the Justice League in general. That Darkseid is one of the most adapted members of Superman's rogues gallery says a lot about how valuable he is. As one of the most powerful DC villains, he deserves to be lauded for remaining unbeaten since Superman has only defeated his avatars and not the deity himself. Several parallels have always been drawn between him and Thanos, especially the fact that they are both gigantic figures who seek to shape the course of the universe. Number 3. Doomsday. Doomsday is still a fairly new villain, as he only made his debut in Superman, the Man of Steel number 17, 1992. Nonetheless, he has gone on to be one of Superman's wildest adversaries. Doomsday is iconic because his feats are unmatched. He is the envy of other villains because he is the only one that has killed Superman in combat, something he achieves in the Death of Superman arc. And he isn't one to be bullied by his fellow baddies either. In Superman/Doomsday, Hunter/Prey, he easily defeats Darkseid, a villain that is often depicted to be as powerful as him. Number 2. Brainiac.
The impudence. You fail to comprehend. An extension of me.
The extraterrestrial supervillain has been around since the events of Action Comics number 242, never quitting in his quest to defeat Superman. He has also appeared in human form in some live-action projects. Brainiac has a reason to boast because his achievements are applause-worthy. Known for his unbelievable feats, he does things such as stealing Krypton's capital, Kandor, as well as destroying the whole planet in some alternate timelines. And thanks to his 12th level intellect, he is a super genius, capable of figuring everything out. Number 1. Lex Luthor.
Red and green. Colors of Christmas. And
Luthor first appears in Action Comics number 23 before going on to dominate the DC landscapes. The LexCorp CEO is also the only fully human foe on the list. It's indeed impressive that Luthor has caused the most problems, yet he is only a mere mortal. That's because he is one of the smartest Superman villains. Out of all the adversaries, Luthor's arcs are also the most satisfactory, as he has been President of the United States and even ruined Superman's love life by dating Lois Lane. To him, it's never just about hurting Superman physically but psychologically too.